Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about adding plants to our platform. Plants are going to be where you're pulling material from, whether it be for an asphalt job, where your transfer trucks are going to get asphalt and pulling it in, whether it be for grading, where you're getting road base or chips or any of that information or any of that material, or in this case here that you can see on my screen, if you're doing like an X-out, an excavation product, where you're hauling material to. You're taking it off of the job and you've got to take it somewhere. And so this could be where you're hauling material to. And if they charge to dump, then you can add that in here. So let's jump right in here. The name is the name of the plant. So I'm going to call this a Staker Parson asphalt plant. Phone, I don't know any of these off the top of my head, so I'm just going to add a dummy number in here. Address line 1. So now this is very important because when we add an asphalt product to a proposal and we know the address of the job and we know the address of the plant, then when we calculate the transfer trucks for you, we're going to calculate the round trip travel time that your transfer trucks have to travel from the job to the plant. Now, this is very important to calculate how many trucks you need to keep up with a crew's production rate. So if your crew wants to hit a 50 tons per hour production rate, we need to know how far the job is from the plant to calculate how many trucks it's going to take to maintain that 50 tons per hour production rate over the course of that job. So make sure this is a physical address, make sure this is a correct address, so that when we go out and put this into the Google system to calculate that, then we know that it's right. For now, again, I don't have any of these memorized, so I'm going to say this is 123 Main Street. Address line 2, this is typically if you have a suite or an apartment number or something like that. Typically, we don't have to use that in the plant, so we're going to leave that empty. We're going to call this West Valley City. I'm out in Utah, so that's what we're going to do. Address is 84321. Okay. Now we define what types of material this plant will supply at what rates. If you pull asphalt from multiple plants, plant A is probably going to have a different rate than plant B. So we're going to use this when we add this plant and the material into our proposal. We're going to use the rate defined for that specific plant to calculate the material costs. You can always switch plants if you're doing a job in someplace else. You can always switch to the plant that's closer or a preferred plant where you want to pull material from. So here we have an asphalt plant. Our rate is going to be $25 a ton for asphalt. Now we have this, what transfer trucks are allowed at that plant. You can add all of these. You can add a subset of these if you only use a couple of these transfer trucks. In this case, we're going to do a single. The tonnage, which we've defined in our transfer truck setting, is 17 tons. The rate that we hire this transfer truck at is $110 per hour and a $10 per ton rate. So if there's a plant that's going to charge by weight versus by hour, or a leasee is going to charge by weight versus by hour, you can add that weight rate in here as well. We're also going to do, let's do a strong arm here. They haul 24 tons with a little bit higher hourly rate, a little bit higher ton rate for the strong arm. So now we've defined this plant. We know this plant is in this location when we add that to the proposal to calculate round trip travel costs for your transfer trucks. We know that they supply these types of materials. We can add additional material if for some reason they take debris back. So this could be an aggregate, a milling. If you mill asphalt, you can take it back there. They'll recycle it, right? And they charge $5 per ton to take that milling. Many people don't charge anything for this, right? You can leave this zero. So this is asphalt. They take debris if we're doing an X-out or a milling job. They allow these trucks to come in and dump. You can add a belly dump, or let's do a side dump here for all of our debris that we're hauling. So now we have this plant in this location charges these rates for these products, and we can haul these trucks into that plant. And all of these are going to be used when you add an asphalt or even a slurry. If you're pulling aggregate from a plant with a grading product, if you're pulling road base or gravel or whatever the case is, or an X out, all of this goes into calculating how much the material costs, what the transfer truck round trip travel time is, how many trucks you need to calculate your transfer truck costs, et cetera, et cetera. So really important to set this up correctly. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.